A young millionaire decided to do a surprising test with his fiancée because he didn't trust her enough. He told her that his successful company had gone bankrupt. Her reaction to this revelation shocked him deeply and led to an unexpected twist in their love story. Hello, my friends. I am Linda. I hope you enjoyed this story. Henry, a young successful entrepreneur in the game development industry, was planning to live another day of his usual routine. As usual, he started his day by going to the same sophisticated cafe near his company for breakfast. Henry was recognized as a true genius in the field of gaming, impressing even the most experienced professionals. However, that morning something unexpected happened as he approached the counter to place his order. Calling out to an attendant, his eyes turned to a young woman he had never seen before. This newly hired employee was a true vision of delicacy, with fine and elegant features that immediately caught Henry's attention. He felt momentarily awkward as she came to serve him. Such was the beauty emanating from her. During breakfast, Henry couldn't help but observe every gesture and movement of the girl who captivated him at first sight. As the days went by, he became even more enchanted by Anne. Over time, Henry began to gather courage to strike up a conversation with the young woman. To his joy, she also proved to be friendly and receptive to the young man's conversations. They soon established a special connection, making jokes and playful remarks that made her laugh and appreciate his company. From that moment on, Henry's routine gained a new dimension as he engaged in a sweet game of seduction with the captivating Anne. After many attempts and a few small gifts, Henry finally gathered the courage to ask her out. The girl accepted the invitation enthusiastically, showing sincere interest in getting to know the fine young man. Over time, their relationship began to flourish and they entered into a serious relationship. Anne, coming from a humble and hard-working family, was a student who managed to balance her studies with her job at the cafe. Her effort and determination were admirable, and this only made her more captivating in Henry's eyes. Henry, deeply in love with his girlfriend, felt pleased to use his purchasing power to spoil her. He gifted her with jewelry and expensive presents, encouraging her to take care of herself in beauty salons where she would have hair and nail treatments. Anne, a young woman of simple nature, revealed a taste for vanity that grew with each attention received from Henry. Anne already possessed a natural beauty that impressed everyone around her, but with Henry's constant pampering, her beauty shone even more, attracting looks and compliments wherever she went. One day, Anne was deeply distraught, and Henry, noticing her mood, decided to console her. Anne then told him about the problems that had occurred with her family. Her father had fallen victim to an investment scam that resulted in substantial debt. With his kindness, Henry offered financial assistance to the family, stating that they could repay him gradually. Anne accepted the gesture humbly, as the situation had left her father shaken and burdened with guilt. In the following months, their relationship continued to flourish in a healthy and affectionate manner. Henry, engulfed by intense feelings, finally decided to propose to Anne. With a heart full of passion, she accepted the proposal without hesitation. Henry was determined to do everything in his power to please Anne. He had noticed that Anne was often tired, struggling to meet the necessary grades. He then proposed to her to quit her job at the cafe, ensuring her a comfortable life free from deprivation. Anne accepted the proposal, seeing the opportunity to have more time to dedicate to her studies and achieve excellence in her education. However, as their relationship prospered, some external people began to judge Anne's behavior, accusing her of being materialistic. For those who knew their love story closely, it was clear that Anne was committed to their relationship for much deeper reasons than mere material benefits. On a certain day, Henry went out with his friends. A conversation among them turned to Henry's relationship with Anne. They wanted to make comments about the interests of his fiancée and whether Henry truly trusted her. One of the friends dared to say, don't you think she's too beautiful for you? That's kind of weird. Although Henry tried to ignore the comment, those words echoed in his mind. After all, they were about to get married, and he wanted to make sure Anne had no ulterior motives. Concern took over Henry, and he found himself contemplating how to test Anne's loyalty. He devised a risky plan to tell her that his company had gone bankrupt to assess her reaction to adversity. The next day, Henry called Anne for a serious conversation and began to explain the situation. "Anne, I think we might need to postpone our wedding. My company lost all its investors and went bankrupt. I had to spend all the money on fines, employees, and other costs." Anne's expression was one of absolute shock, and a heavy silence fell between them. It seemed she was at a loss for words, unsure how to react or what to say. Anne's face clearly showed surprise and frustration. She then said, "It will be okay, Henry. You'll get through this," and asked to go home, claiming not to feel well, promising they would talk later. Henry experienced a deep sense of unease. On the night he revealed his company's supposed bankruptcy to Anne, he noticed a cold expression on her face, which made him fear a negative reaction. His friend's comments echoed in his mind, increasing his doubts about Anne's sincerity. The next morning, upon waking up, Henry sent a message to Anne but received no response. The lack of communication left him extremely sad, fueling his growing suspicions. Henry continued trying to contact her throughout the day, sending several messages, but Anne remained silent. He decided to call her in the mid-afternoon, but her phone was turned off. With a heavy heart, Henry went to lunch with a friend, where he explained the situation. His friend commented with a resigned tone, "We knew she would disappear if you said you went bankrupt." This statement left Henry conflicted, torn between the anguish that it might be true and the growing anger at feeling deceived by Anne. That afternoon was truly difficult for Henry, who decided to leave work early, shaken by what was happening. It seemed Anne had abandoned him without a second thought. The night brought an unexpected surprise when his phone rang. Upon answering, Henry was surprised to see Anne on the other end of the line. Her nervousness was palpable as he eagerly awaited what she had to say. Anne spoke with a cheerful voice. "Darling, I'm sorry my phone died all day because I was out dropping off resumes." Henry, still bewildered, asked, "What do you mean, Anne? Dropping off resumes? Where?" With a soft voice and sincerity, Anne replied to Henry with an explanatory tone. "Henry, yesterday I was so saddened to hear about your company's bankruptcy that I actually wanted to cry. However, I didn't want to show so much sadness, and to not make you even more upset, I asked to leave." Then, very excitedly, she continued, "I want to repay everything you've done for me in tough times. I spent the whole day looking for a job to help you out, and guess what? I've already found one." Henry, completely shocked and moved, immediately asked to meet her. The two came together in a warm and relieved embrace for Henry, who finally understood the motivation behind Anne's behavior. In a moment of calm after the hug, Anne spoke about the beauty of simple life and how they could grow together regardless of financial situations. Henry, feeling deeply remorseful and ashamed, decided to share the truth with her. He admitted that the company hadn't gone bankrupt and apologized for letting others' opinions lead him to test Anne in this way. Henry's confession left Anne deeply disappointed and offended, feeling betrayed by her fiancé's lie. She asked Henry to leave as she needed time to reflect on what had happened and how it would affect their relationship. That delicate moment was a turning point in Henry's life, as it made him deeply reflect on the relationship he shared with Anne. Recalling the beginning of it all, Henry thought about how Anne was when they first met. She was a simple, extremely beautiful, and highly hardworking young woman. As their relationship with Henry progressed, he tried to give her gifts and offer the best he could. When Anne's family faced difficulties, Henry was also the first to lend a helping hand. It was then that Henry realized something crucial. Throughout all that time, Anne never demanded anything nor took advantage of his generosity. She simply accepted the love and care he offered, demonstrating genuine gratitude. Filled with regret, Henry spent a sleepless night with heavy thoughts about how he had tested Anne and the lack of trust he had shown. At dawn, he was determined not to lose Anne, confirming that their relationship was truly special. Anne's attitude in seeking a job to help him in a difficult time had proven that she was by his side regardless of the situations. Upon finding Anne, he embraced her and, with tears in his eyes, begged for her forgiveness. "Anne, you are the love of my life. Please forgive me. What we have is very special." With compassion and love, Anne accepted her fiancé's apologies, and together they grew even stronger. Henry and Anne's wedding day became an emotional celebration. It was the celebration of a true love that endured tough tests and proved to be stronger than any adversity. It was a day of joy, gratitude, and hope, marking the beginning of a new journey for the couple where they would face together whatever life threw at them. Love triumphed over adversity and proved that snap judgments and others' opinions cannot define a true and solid relationship. The story highlights how lack of trust and communication can affect relationships, but it also shows how forgiveness and understanding can change the course. Henry and Anne faced challenges due to doubts and external influence, but in the end, they overcame these difficulties and built a stronger relationship, emphasizing the importance of trust, communication, and resilience. If you enjoyed, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment with a number from 1 to 5 to let us know how much you liked the story. Also, watch the video that is currently on your screen. See you soon.